Thank you, Greg. So the first thing that I'll do, as Greg said, it's a thin client. So the first thing I'll do is open Internet Explorer, and it'll pop up my login screen. So I'm just going to log in as myself as a power user, and you'll notice the first screen that is displayed is basically a work screen. What batches do I have local on my PC? Again, when you first scan, everything's local until you release to the server. But what do I have on my PC here, and what queues do I have access to? So in those queues, what work do I have that needs to be done? Again, based on the user that I log in as, is what queues I'll have access to and what tabs I'll have access to across the top. As Greg said earlier, you can set up just straight index users or straight capture users as well. So the first thing I'll do is click on my capture tab, and I'll go select the profile to scan. Profile, again, based on the user I'm logged in as, is what profiles I have access to, but I'll just select the loan documents here. My image source would be any Twin compliant scanner installed on this PC. Again, this is just a virtual machine, so I'll just do a file import. And then my batch name, I can put a prefix in there, and then it's just sequentially numbered from there. Below that, we just have a couple checkboxes. One that says you can see the pages as you're scanning. Not recommended in a production environment. It's going to slow down the rated speed of your scanner, but it's possible for the one-offs that need to be scanned. And then the other one is basically display scan dialog. This will pop up your dialog from your Twain driver. You select your settings as far as DPI and contrast and brightness, and then you can uncheck that for subsequent times after that. So the first thing I'll do is just hit my scan import button. Notice that I'll get prompted for images or any documents that I want to pull into the system. So I'll just select these last three here and click open. Now notice that the pages are displayed on the right side here, and all across the top is my QC functions. I can scroll through the pages, I can scroll to the last page, I can zoom in, I can zoom out. Also with that, I can rubber band zoom here just to whichever area I think might have a problem. Then I can fit my pages to best fit, to width, to height. I can rotate my pages if necessary. And then as far as any more scanning that needs to be done, I can append a page, I can insert a page, I can replace pages, I can delete a page and copy pages and print pages. So if I have one user scanning in a different location and say I need to print this page out, get a signature, and then append it to the end, I can easily do that from inside of Capture. Also keep in mind that these functions are all available in the Index tab as well. But I've QC'd my documents. I like how they look. I think they're perfectly visible. So what I'm going to do is check the documents I just scanned and click Release. What this is doing is releasing this batch to the server to be processed. So processed for this batch means split each page into its own document. So the other thing I can do and scan is see what's releasing, see what's been released. I can also go back here and say that I scanned something incorrectly the first time. I can change which profile it goes to. Basically, that just goes to a different start event, and then it cannot be changed once you're outside of Capture. But as I did before, I just released my file to the server to be processed. So the next thing I'll do is go click on Index here, and we'll go find the queue that it should be associated with, which would be loan documents and index. And notice that this is my batch that I just scanned in. So notice that it is zoom to zone here. So any index zone that gets configured, you can set to zoom and just make it easier for the index users. And I'll just index this document real quickly. I'm going to type in my Social Security number and hit Tab. And what this does is a web service call back to the server to pull back my information. Now keep in mind, all this is being done from a web thin client, and I have all this functionality inside of it. Also, you can set up index zones for certain dates or Social Security numbers, or have drop-downs here like I do for this one. So I'll save this file, and then I'll just go ahead and index the next one. Notice that if it finds multiple results, you're just going to get a prompt here. So I'll just select the right one that it should be, move on from there, and then I can finish indexing this document. So from here, I index this last one, I select what type of account, and I'm done with that. So I've completely indexed those documents. I'm done with what I'm doing. I can now hit complete, send it back to the server, and my documents will be released to the correct backend repository. So as I click on the Capture tab, we'll go back and we'll just select a different profile called Manual Indexing. From here, I'll just scan some documents in again. I'll select which images I want. I can just do all of these in here. I'll open these up, and what we'll do is click over on the Classify tab for this document, and you'll notice that I can select my separator sheets and create documents, or what I can do is, if I go back here, I can select all of them, create single-page documents, or I can say this one, and this one all make up just one document there. So a very easy way to visually burst into documents, as Greg stated, and then if necessary, we can just rotate all these documents, say it came in from a fax or anything along those lines. It's a very easy way to go through that. But what I'll do is just create 4 different documents here, create my 4-page document, 2-page documents, and click on Index. And now I can just select which document types they are, index based off of those document types, and move on to the next one. So just another way that we can go about indexing and processing documents through a manual profile. And again, you can have different document types associated with that one batch that got scanned in. So a little less work to be done on the front end by the scan operator, but a little bit more to be done by the knowledge worker or indexer. Also inside of here, you can simply move pages around from one document to another if something got scanned in incorrectly. So the last way we can go ahead and process documents through CAPSYS would be through what we call all server processing. Now I've got my document type configured, which is my index values and where I'm going to release to, but the other processing would be what we call that batch profile, which is what you select from inside of Capture. Notice my loan documents, what we selected before, are just splitting on every one page. Then it goes to the index queue, which is where I index the documents, and then it gets pushed along to be exported out of the system. Keep in mind, any queue that we have out there is where we require user interaction. So the last thing you can do is just create a real quick new profile here. We'll call it Test. And what we do is just throw a start event out there. Once we throw a start event out there, we have a QXX to split those up. So we'll do barcode separation. And then we'll do a database lookup, do an assembly, and do a stop. Now keep in mind we need exception queues for each one of those. We'll just throw one of them out there for right now. But from there, we'll just connect the dots. That's my complete here, my exception here. Same thing here, my complete, my exception here. And then my complete here. And I guess we'll throw another queue out there so we can have exception there as well. We'll go back and we'll go over. Now I've drawn my map. I know what I need to process. Now I'm going to configure exactly what needs to be done. So here I'm saying that I've got documents that are going to have a barcode on it, and we're going to split on that barcode, 3 of 9, and we're going to make it a contract. So from there, I know that I've got contracts as my document type. I'm going to read a 3 of 9 barcode, and I'm going to map that to the very first barcode that I read on that page. We'll click OK here, click OK here, and then we are done with the barcode separation. Now I've got my Social Security number as a barcode index. I can simply go into my database lookup, go to my contracts, configure this very quickly. Again, this is a very easy configuration. Really, any admin or power user is able to do this. And we'll configure this connection back to the database. And we'll select on my CAPSYS table. We'll find a table out there that has all the information in it. And I'll say for Social Security number in the database equal to Social Security number in my document there. Add that condition. We'll save that. And I've now configured my test batch profile to read a barcode, do a database lookup based off that barcode. If it's complete successfully, it's going to be exported to its correct backend repository. If something is incorrect, it'll go to my exception queue. Otherwise, this whole batch will process without any user intervention. So basically, there's three main ways that we can configure CAPSYS to process documents. So at a very high level, that is the thin client, very easy to use, and server manager, which is very easy to configure a batch profile as we just did by just dragging and dropping and connecting the dots.
If you have any questions or would like to speak with us, either visit our website at www.capsystech.com or give us a call at 877-322-7797. Thank you so much.